Today on Weenie and the Kargan, Dragonlord. 2 red mana for a 2/2 human warrior. Kargan Dragonlord is from Rise of the Eldrazi. It's actually in the same set as Dragon Master Outcast, but it's a very interesting card with level up. Obviously, the strangest thing is you can clearly see a dragon in the artwork of it, but it's actually a Dragonlord. It means it's a human creature that allows you to control a dragon if you pay enough mana into it. Now, of course, the level up ability is something that's based on the Figure of Destiny, and it was actually abandoned to bring back that effect with Warden of the First Tree. But the way level up worked was you could pay the extra cost when you had extra mana on your turn as a sorcery, just to kind of file it into one creature and make it bigger over time. It's kind of like an installment plan or a balloon payment. It's something you have to just keep putting into if you want to, though. So the point of Kargan Dragonlord was for that first 2 mana you got a 2/2 human warrior creature. And that warrior works very well with a lot of warrior tribal cards, Levisa Cold Eyes, for example, or you could even play Obsidian Battle Axe from Morningtide to have it come into play and suddenly equip for free, making it into a 5/3 creature with haste. And that's just nice warrior tribal type of an effect. But for the extra red mana level up, you can give it over the course of several turns, you can make it much, much more powerful. For example, if you play this on your second turn for the 2 red mana, on your third turn, you can put 2 level up counters onto it, or even a third if you play a third land. Now, that doesn't seem like it does very much, but putting a couple level up counters on it, then swinging out, or shocking, or lightning bolting your opponent's creature, perfectly worthwhile. On your 4th turn, however, if you play another land, or if you have the mana, you can pay that extra 3 level up, suddenly going from just 2 to 5, or even just from 2 to 4, but most likely from 2 to 5. Now you've got a 4/4 flying creature. That's 6 mana for 4/4, but it's something you played over the course of several turns. So you aren't necessarily losing that mana. You had a 2/2 creature to begin with. Now, obviously, you put the extra 2 mana into it, then you lose the creature, well, you lost that mana. But odds are you didn't use that mana for anything else. And the extra effect is when you get to that 5th turn, even with only 3 lands, that 5th turn, it becomes an 8/8 flying trample creature with fire breathing. An 8/8 flying trample creature with fire breathing on turn 5. By no stretch of the imagination, that is an amazing event to have a 5th turn 8/8 flying trample creature with fire breathing. And all because you had that extra mana to just put into the card. So look, even if your opponent's having a decent hand, then they just play your regular cards. Sure, that's fine. But imagine an opponent that's struggling, just putting out 1/1 creatures to block. Perhaps they got mana screw or whatever happens. You have an 8/8 flying creature with trample. And it didn't cost you all that much. Suddenly by your 5th turn, you've swung out with, say, 8 and 4 and 2. That's 14 damage, easily, just by paying 10 mana. There's no real loss to that. And you don't have to put all of the mana in. You still can keep some untapped on your turn to cast a Lightning Bolt, or keep it untapped for your opponent's turn, for instance. You can only level up as a sorcery, but there's a lot of effects you can use with Kargan Dragonlord. And then you can even proliferate to keep the level counter stacking up. That's why proliferate was actually so well received in Scars of Mirrodin, was because you suddenly went into an effect where you could pay the cost for one thing and then put more counters on it later. And it's just a very, very beautiful card that works very well just with its own self. Again, an 8/8 trample flyer with fire breathing. That's why it's the subject of today's Weenie Envy. And I hope this has inspired you to look at how you pay your costs a little bit differently, and the potential that is resting in a lot of different cards. And I hope you're having a wonderful morning, a wonderful afternoon, and or a wonderful evening. And I hope tomorrow is even better. Take care, everyone.